Hello, what is good, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Crystal if you are new here, and we are back with another monthly reset video. I swear to God, it feels like I just filmed my June monthly reset and I was just starting the no spend challenge, but here we are yet again. So excited to share with you guys actually what I learned in the no spend challenge, things that I want to continue to do, even though I'm not doing that challenge per se anymore, but more sustainable things I think I can take forward. And also just like what happened in my life in June, spend some time reflecting, and then also we're going to get into my financial plan, especially since quarter 3 is finally here. I took a step back and just reassessed my goals, my financial goals, and where I want to continue to save for the rest of the year. So gonna share that with all of you. And yeah, we'll keep this intro short, starting off with our June reflections. But before we get into today's video, I quickly have to shout out one of my favorite jewelry brands, Luisa. I have been partnering with them for a while now, and honestly, this is one of my favorite brands that I feel like if they'll have me, I will continue to partner with. All of their jewelry pieces are affordable, they have styles for everyone, and they make sure that they test to ensure that their jewelry is long lasting. So that means testing that it's hypoallergenic and that it's also water resistant, because if you're like me, you like to wear your jewelry when you take a shower, which is probably not the best practice, but they make sure that their jewelry is going to be there for you for as long as you live. I want to quickly shout them out and show you a few of the different pieces I got this past month. First one is this ivory ring. I feel like it is so beautiful and it just looks and feels like luxury. It's even dipped in 14 karat gold, which is amazing, and I just love this like anchor chain ring design that it has on it, and I feel like it literally pairs well with everything I wear, especially when I go to work. And the next ring that I got, because I've been trying to step up my ring game, is this Cody ring, also dipped in 14 karat gold, and it kind of has that like smooth finish to it. It's very minimalistic, but it's still bold, so I feel like it's like the perfect ring to just stack other rings with. Like I think these two go so well together. And then the last thing I got from this is the low medium hoop earrings, and I don't know, I'm a hoop girl. Ones I've gotten in the past though are more like a Huggies or those smaller hoops, but I love that this one is just so minimalistic and slender. I feel like I just love that look a lot, and these would pair really well with the low small hoop earrings that are just like a little bit smaller than these. So this would be a really cute stack, which I think I'm gonna buy in the future. I got all 3 of these beautiful pieces, so make sure you guys check out Ana Luisa after this video. Make sure you use my code CrystalG20 for 20% off at checkout. Once the first day of summer hit, literally my life got instantly better. The sun came back to San Diego and I just felt like this like 360 in my life. This month I think was really good. It was a lot better than April and May. And were very low months for me, even though I was doing a lot when I wasn't overstimulated by festivals, when I was just like at home. It wasn't like I felt like I could truly just sit down and breathe. But I think this past month in June, especially with doing the no spend challenge and not going out as much, or at least trying not to go out as much, was a lot better for my mental health and allowed me to just take a step back and just take a deep breath in and exhale all of it out. So I think one big thing I learned this month with the no spend challenge, and I'll talk about it a little bit more later on in this video, but it's delayed gratification. That's been a huge takeaway for me, because I feel like with just like modern technology and the ways of working now, like we're so used to having everything literally at our fingertips. Like you can do Amazon Prime, 1-day delivery, Uber Eats, like you don't even have to leave your house, and you just like have everything in an instance without putting in too much effort. This month I definitely learned delayed gratification, and I've grown to have more of appreciation of like working hard for the things that I put and invest my time and money into. So that was a big lesson learned this month. Definitely grateful for the sun. I love being outside. It's just my favorite thing in the world. So shout out to the sun. And then this month, letting go of letting social media be the benchmark of how my life should be. Like I feel like when I'm scrolling through social media, sometimes I get caught up. I'm like, oh, like I want to have this. I should do this. Or like because I make content, I think that, oh, like these social media influencers, whatever, whatever have all these nice things and they have all these views. So it's like, in order for me to get these views, I have to live this certain lifestyle. And if I'm not there, then, you know, I must suck, which is not true. So letting go of the idea, even though that's not said, I think that's something that a lot of us do feel when we're scrolling through social media, is that we use other people's lives who are continually making content and comparing our lives to theirs. Definitely letting go of that this next month. Those are my monthly reflections. So now going into my monthly goals. For my finances, I did do my best in my no spend challenge. I did log my finances every week since I didn't have much to do and I wanted to stay on top of like how much I was spending. For health and wellness, I think for the most part, I did go to the gym 3 to 4 times a week. We are starting to train for a half marathon in November in San Francisco. We're gonna go fly up, but it's like we got a big group of people to do it. So it's like me, my roommate, Julian, and then my best friend from back home and like some of our friends. We're all gonna make a big like San Francisco trip. So it's gonna be super fun and I'm excited for that. So we've been training a lot too. So I've been trying to implement more running into my workout routine, as well as like hitting like a legs pull and push day. So that's what my health and wellness journey has been looking like lately. And I did definitely drink more water this month, but I haven't been super consistent with taking my creatine. For personal, be on time or early to everything. This was something that I feel like I just needed to do better at in every aspect of my life. I am not good at being on time to things, but I think I did a pretty good job this month with being on time to at least more than half of the things I was invited to. And we didn't finish Rich Dad Poor Dad. I don't know what it is. Maybe I just don't like the book, so I'm like not motivated to read it, but I just think I need a better book. But I have been trying to do Audible where they read the books to you, and I've been liking it. I've been listening to Crying in H Mart and I love it. The only thing is that sometimes I'll be listening to it like when I'm in the car or when I'm on a walk, like I'll zone out a little bit, so I have to like backtrack like where I was at last. So I think reading helps me retain information better, but listening is just more convenient overall. So I'm still gonna try it and see what I like. So far I've been liking Audible. For my relationships, I did check in with my friends a lot this month, and I just still am terrible at replying to messages. For YouTube, record everything, record your life more. Definitely didn't record as much as I wanted to, but I did take a lot of pictures this month, which made me very happy. That's all of my goals for the month of June. I think I did a pretty good job, and a lot of these I'm just like trying to continue throughout the rest of the year. June was a very good month for me, physically, emotionally, spiritually, mentally, all thanks to the sun. With quarter 3, we do typically go through my yearly goals as well. So for my yearly goals, most of this is still pretty up to date. For finance, I think everything that I have listed here is all correct. Health and wellness is also, all of these goals are very much true to this day. Instead of running a 5K though, we will be running a half marathon, which is 13.1 miles, which I don't think I've ever ran that much in my life. I haven't been taking more progress pictures though. I should. And then I kind of fallen off on creating a morning routine. So maybe for not this month, but next month, that's something I focus on again. For personal, I'm actually going to delete this follow your curiosity of getting my real estate license. I think I did that a little bit in the beginning of this year. I was doing a lot more research. I was talking to people who were in the real estate game. And I just think right now, this is not something that fits into my lifestyle because I just want to take charge of my professional career right now, especially with that whole UX, UI situation that I talked about last month. Just seeing where my career plays out to, but I definitely think in the future, like real estate would be a really cool thing to get into. And I don't think I have to like try to do everything I want to do now, but definitely something I'd love to do like maybe a few years down the line. Growing my knowledge and reading more books this year. Like as much as I want to put a quantity to how many books I want to read, I think in general the goal this year is just to get back into reading and find reading to be something fun to do in my pastime instead of like going on Netflix and binge watching shows. All of these still pretty much align. I don't think there's any new goals that I have for this year. I think all of these are still good to try to complete by the end of 2023, and we're kind of on track for the most part. I think I have been doing my best, and your best is all that matters. And I say that every single month, but I think it's so true. I don't know recently though, I don't know if this is just me or everyone, but sometimes repeating goals for the next month has been working for me, but lately I'm just vibing. So when we focus too much on like trying to better ourselves quickly, it just doesn't always work out and we're not seeing the results. So if you feel like a month is not long enough for you to achieve your goals, that's okay to repeat, which I feel like I tend to do in like different ways, or I just kind of word it differently, which you guys will see in the month of July. But all of these kind of still stay within the same category, but I'm trying to tackle it from a different angle, if that makes sense. Starting with finances, this month I really want to do more research on passive income streams. I did a lot right after college. Like I was trying to learn so much more about money, trying to become financially literate, that I was watching a bunch of YouTube videos, I was reading a bunch of books, listening to new podcasts, and lately I've kind of stopped doing it as much as I would like. So re-listening to those podcasts, seeing how other money gurus, if you will, think about money and how they try to pursue passive income streams. So I want to do some research and see what passive income streams are out there that I can try to implement or start implementing in my life today. Something else is keeping my going out expenses under $75. Talk about this later, and I'm sure you've heard about it in my past monthly resets, but going out is so expensive. We go to a lot of events here in San Diego. Sometimes it's just so expensive that at the end of the month, I'm like, I spent how much that I could have used that to buy furniture for my apartment? Like, you gotta be kidding me. So this month I really have a goal to keep my going out expenses under 75. And then for my health and wellness goals, like I mentioned, we're running that half marathon in November. So we're starting now. It's a 20-week training program. So I want to stay on top of that training plan. Also want to continue to try to drink more water, my creatine more consistently, because creatine only works when you are consistent with it. And when I was consistent with it with you guys, like I saw a huge change in my body. Like I feel like my muscles were more toned. Like I felt overall a lot better than I ever did my entire journey. And it's one of the most studied supplements that someone can take. Also to stretch more. That is another goal that I have this month. Personal goals. Because I've been so hard on myself about this like Rich Dad Poor Dad and me not finishing it, I just want to get excited again about reading. Like remember why reading is fun and that it can transport you to another place. So trying to find a book or an audiobook that inspires me and that I want to go listen to more or go read more. So I'm going to look for a book if you guys have any recommendations. And then also just to clean more frequently. For relationships, I think this is like similar to last month's, but checking in with my friends more and then focusing on the people in my life that matter. I think one of the best compliments you could ever get from someone is saying how much time and effort you put into having genuine relationships with other people. And I think that's a quality that I would love to have. And it's like anything in life, like going to the gym, like you have to put time and energy into your relationships in order to continue to have them. And then for YouTube, I just want to follow through with my content planner and things that I have planned, because every month I go through it, I'm gonna say I'm gonna do this video, and this video, and then I don't do it. Trying to get back into being more consistent, but also balancing the videos that I want to put out and the energy that I have to put them out. Those are my June reflections, my June goals, as well as just the new July goals that I want to set for myself this month. So now moving on to my June spending plan and all of my expenses for this past month. And if you guys know, and I said earlier that I did this no spend June challenge, and I honestly think it went pretty well. If you guys take a look at my Notion calendar, this is what it looks like. So everything that is green, I didn't spend anything on that day. Anything that was yellow were things that were within my rules that I had set for myself. And then anything that is red and has a little demon are days that I did not fall through. This month looks like, and I did hit, I think, the 23 days without spending or like without going over my budget. This challenge specifically, it's kind of like it was very interesting. I've never done a full month without spending. I definitely have done like, oh, let me try not to spend during the week. I think doing this challenge, even though, you know, like some people were like, oh, well, you're still spending, but it's like, yeah, I still want to enjoy my life and I still have to eat, you know, and pay rent. So it wasn't about like not spending anything. It was more so about being more mindful and conscious and intentional with where my money was going and framing it in the way of a challenge. Because if you're like me, I'm very competitive, and so challenges, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna stick to it, let's go. So this month it was so interesting just to look at my spending habits. Like, I'm so used to, like I said earlier, with like delayed gratification, like just swiping my card and be like, oh, I want this, let's go on Amazon and buy it. I'm so easily influenced. But taking a second to pause and be like, do I really need this? Like, is it gonna add that much more value to my life than I think? And for the most part, like, no. Another thing I think I'm gonna take forward as well is setting a budget before I go to these events, because before I would usually just like, fuck it. But actually going into my spending plan, we were right on top of that $1,100 budget that I had kind of set up, which is absolutely crazy. When I looked at it on the last week of July though, I thought I was gonna be right under $1,000, because I was like at 9,800 for the Tuesday before that week ended, but then I forgot that I was getting my lashes done, and so I did go a little bit over 1,000, but I think that's still really good. And if you compare it to how much I typically spend on my annual dashboard, like if we look at guilt-free spending, I honestly spend around $2,000 to $3,000, which is like absolutely insane. So the fact that I'm right at $1,000 mark for guilt-free spending honestly is a very good feeling. And I think I'm gonna try to do this again when I don't have a lot of events going on in my life, or when it's a slower month, because it's just so cool to see myself save that month. And then also it's really cool too, because the month of June was also a 3 paycheck month, which was really nice. So if you take a look at like just like my income, bills and expenses, saving and investments, you know, my income was more obviously because it was a 3 paycheck month, but it was cool that I could keep my expenses under that. So I feel like I'm just like up overall, which is just, again, it makes me feel like relieved, because I have been spending so much the past few months, and it feels like I kind of like caught up and took a pause and took a deep breath. So I'm just trying to not allow myself to just like think like, oh, in July you can just spend whatever, your money on whatever. But if you guys want to take a look at my expenses, like I mentioned, like going out was $186. So if I was to like not spend that much while going out, I would have hit that under 1,000 mark, which it's okay. Groceries too, I was actually surprised, because I thought groceries would be like around the $300 mark, and it was like at $287. It made me realize like how much I enjoy cooking from home. So that was something that I forgot I love doing, which is just cooking, and how much money you can save there. I also did not do food delivery, and even my eating out expenses with like budgeting for my friends' events was under or at $100, which I think that's the lowest it's ever been. So if you want to stop eating out, try a no spend challenge. And I think everything else is pretty accurate. So the last thing I want to show you guys is my total breakdown pie chart, which is absolutely crazy. Normally my expenses are from anywhere from 30 to 45% of my paycheck. So to see it cut down by half is crazy. We love to see it. Like, will this ever happen again? I don't know. Okay, so before we get into our July spending plan, like I mentioned, it's the end of the quarter, going into a new quarter, so we reassess our personal goals and we reassess our financial goals. So going into my template, I have my personal and savings investments tab within this Excel sheet. Some people have asked me if I've made this available to download. Unfortunately, I haven't. This is something that I've made for myself, and I just don't know if it works properly. So I just want to make sure that it's like doing what it's supposed to do before, you know, I release it to the general public. Otherwise, people are going to use it and be like, this shit does not work. I am not an Excel expert, but I am trying to be. So once it is available, I'll let you guys know. But for now, I just want to share with you guys, this is how I've been tracking my investments for the year so far. I'm looking into Q3 and Q4 if there's anything I need to start saving for. I think most of what I have in here is indicative of everything I'm doing this next year that I want to save for. So there's nothing new. I am traveling a bit, like I mentioned, going to Hawaii this month, but I didn't start a new savings goal or bucket for that. I'm just gonna try to budget where it makes sense. Looking at Q2, we were able to hit all of our investments and saving goals, which is amazing. And that's no thanks to just having a bank that does like reoccurring transfers, so like auto reoccurring transfers. So I use SoFi, and I know Ally does this too, but you can actually, sorry if you can hear them, I think they're playing in the background. I'm watching Winston, and that's Harlow. They both do it, but they have recurring transfers that you can set up. So I do it on a bi-weekly basis. So every time I get my paycheck I automatically have SoFi move a certain amount into each one of my buckets depending on what my goals are for that quarter. So that's how I'm able to hit everything, especially with like my Roth IRA and personal investing. I also do auto invest, so they'll pull however much money from my account into my investment accounts, which I think that's the best way if you're ever trying to hit a goal to do it, is like make sure that you're auto investing so that, or you spend your guilt-free spending money, it's going towards the places that you want to start saving for, whether that's your emergency fund, a car, a house, what have you. And also too, what I want to mention about SoFi and Ally is that they have a high yield savings, which is amazing. And if you're trying to just get your savings goal up, I think that you should definitely switch to a bank with a high yield savings account, whether that's, again, Ally, SoFi, or whatever bank. APY for SoFi is at 4.5%. And the reason that you'll see the power behind a high yield savings account is that, for example, for my emergency fund, I hit that goal in quarter 1, but just leaving it in my SoFi account, I have made around $100 just in interest. So you can see how much in interest I made for April, May, and June, and that's for all of my savings accounts, which is absolutely crazy. And it's helping me, I realize, save more faster. Even if it's just like a little amount, like of $1 or a few dollars, like I think it's all worth it in the end. Would highly recommend checking out any bank that has a high yield savings. If you're not doing it, you're literally missing out on free money that you could be getting. And especially with SoFi, sorry, I was getting distracted by the dogs. But right now, SoFi is offering $250 bonus when you open up a checkings account with them. If you set up a direct deposit, you can collect a bonus of $50 to $250 depending on your deposit amount. So if you're interested in opening a SoFi account or even an Ally account, I'll link my refer code down at the bottom. Wanted to share with you guys where I was at this past quarter. Now for quarter 3, because I've been hitting my savings goals a lot quicker than I had anticipated, this is what it's looking like for holiday. $99, or like basically $100 a month. My car, $250 a month. Saving for Bali, about $95. Japan, $65. My wedding in the future, don't know when that is, but that'll be $71. And then my solutions fund I've saved for, so not contributing more to that this year. So for my Roth IRA, it's about $387 a month to make sure that I'm maxing it out for this year. Personal investing is only about $43. And then my home, trying to hit $665 a month. Pretty aggressive goals again, but it's really cool because in quarter 2, I said I wanted my savings and investments to be about I want my savings to be 18% of my paycheck and my investments to be 22% of my paycheck. And I think if I look at my annual dashboard, yeah, my investments have been 20% of my paycheck and my savings have been about 25%. So we're doing a really good job. So that's everything for quarter 3. Now, if we go into my July budget, the month I know is just going to be expensive. So I'm trying to save where I can, but like I mentioned, we're going to Hawaii, and I think I'm thinking about going with Julian on a work trip to Vegas and just working remotely out there to get a change in scenery. So, you know, my expenses are going to go up. We allocated about $150 for groceries. I think that's something I could do. And it's a little bit lower than normal because with traveling, I think we're going to spend more eating out. So we have groceries at $150, eating out at $275, $0 for food delivery. I'm pretty proud of myself because I think for the past few months I haven't been doing Uber Eats or DoorDash or anything like that. Okay, so next transportation, $120. I think that's with gas and just like Ubers if we go on vacation. Car maintenance is $70. I do have to get an oil change this month. I also want to get a car wash this month too. Self-care, $275. I think that's about standard, but I am getting like a pedicure too. Shopping, hopefully $0. Clothes, I did start buying more work clothes, so about $150, especially because I want to get new shoes for running. So I think that's taking into account that. Gifts, it's a few of my friends' birthdays this month. Subscriptions, around $70. Because it's the start of new quarter too, I do quarterly subscriptions, so just knowing that's gonna jump up a little bit. Fun and travel, I put around $600. If I go to Vegas, if I make that decision, this is probably going to change. But right now, just taking into account into Hawaii, I want to keep my like guilt-free spending around $600, so fingers crossed. And then home, we're trying to decorate. We have this wall in our house that has just been plain for the longest time, and we just renewed our lease, so we're trying to do something with that. So I think this month too, we're just going to spend a little bit more on furniture and things like that sorts. And then going out, which is my financial goal of $75 this month. So those are my expenses. And then bills and subscriptions, those always remain the same. And then with my new savings and investment goals, I put that into this month's goals as well. So that is what July is looking like. That is pretty much everything for this July monthly reset. I'm going to spend the rest of my weekend probably cleaning up around the house. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you did the no spend challenge, let me know how you did. I want to hear all about it. If you're thinking about doing a new spend challenge, I'll also leave the template that I'm using below, and just like all the links that I mentioned today, you can find them in the description. And also please make sure that you check out Ana Luisa. Please do it if you're looking for jewelry, or if you're in the market, or if you're trying to find a gift for someone. Check them out. So use my code CrystalG20 for 20% off at checkout. But I hope you guys have a safe, healthy start of your summer, a great month, and I'll see you guys soon. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Love you. Bye.